And finally, gas prices. Ooh, Washington drivers facing a brutal uptick in prices at the pump as gasoline prices shatter all-time record highs. This is driven by a combination of what's happening, of course, the conflict with Iran. We have some regional refinery constraints, and then we have policies here in the state of Washington with unusually high, well, maybe not unusual for us now, but unusually compared to the rest of the country, gas taxes, exacerbated by the CO2 taxes, the Climate Commitment Act taxes. So as of today, I have to look at my notes here. According to AAA Washington, we're at 567 a gallon. Previous record was 556 set in 2022. And for folks paying diesel, it's nearly $7 a gallon on average here in the state of Washington. So I pray for all you independent truckers who are paying this. So CCA taxes add a lot more to that here in the state of Washington via the Climate Commitment Act. And there's been some talk and lots of folks on social media saying CCA taxes should simply be suspended, at least for now, to give Washington drivers a break. So here is Washington Policy Center's Vice President for Research, Todd Myers, on why Washington drivers are paying so much more than neighboring states.
The CCA, the Climate Commitment Act, which is the CO2 tax, adds about 52 cents a gallon right now. There are other rules and restrictions that add on to that as well. For instance, the low carbon fuel standard, which has been actually made more restrictive recently, adds just a couple of cents at this point, but that will go up rapidly as we move toward 2030 and the rules become more restrictive. So those two add about 55 cents a gallon right now on top of, as compared to, Oregon and Idaho and others who don't have those rules. Of course, we also have the third highest gas tax in the country at over 50 cents a gallon. So just those two policies, the CCA and the gas tax, add over $1 a gallon, which is far more than, gas stations are profiting. It's certainly more than gas companies are profiting, and so the finger always gets pointed at the companies who either make the product or sell the product. But the number one beneficiary of every time you buy a gallon of gas is the state of Washington.
Now, proponents of the current gas tax structure argue it is critical for the state's massive infrastructure backlog in transportation projects and in Climate Commitment Act promised projects, that we cannot simply suspend the CCA tax even for a limited time. So I guess in the meantime, good luck paying enough to fill your gas tank to get to work and for your kids to get to school. It is brutal. I get it. It is a struggle. Thank you for watching today's episode of Washington in Focus. As always, check out our Center Square Washington page and our Center Square National page. We'll see you tomorrow.